Starting neck circles, integrating this movement with breath. Maybe you exhale as your chin comes to chest, and inhale as your chin rotates upwards towards the sky. Maybe using this opportunity to connect with how your body feels in this present moment. Starting with the neck. Switching directions in these rotations. How does even the change in rotation make you feel physically or even mentally? 2 more circles. Going as slow as you possibly can. When we do this rotation, this movement, we mirror a lot of the movements of the earth around us. Exhaling, coming back to center. We're going to seal in our practice by inhaling, our arms rise up towards the sky. And then exhale, hands come down to heart center. And then sweep out. Inhale, arms rise up towards the sky. And then exhale, our hands come down to heart center. Last one, inhale, our arms rise up towards the sky. And then exhale, our hands come down to heart center. If you have an intention for this practice, maybe you cement that in. Maybe you allow for an intention to come to you throughout the practice. Maybe you even just focus in on your energy. What energy are you trying to cultivate in your life? Taking a deep inhale, holding at the top, and then exhale, sighing it out. Another deep inhale, holding at the top, and then exhale, sighing it out. Last one, deep inhale, holding at the top, and then exhale, sighing it out. We're going to come into our first restorative pose. And so this is a supported child's pose. I'll move my crystal ball away. So the way that this supported child's pose works is that you're going to have either your pillow or your block underneath the bolster, so that the bolster is up and supported. Or if you have only pillows, you're going to have one pillow and then a second pillow, and then you're going to have 2 pillows on top. And then from here, you're going to find your thigh right at the bolster. If you're more abundant in your thighs, maybe you bring your thighs out a little bit more wider. So always an option to make space for yourself by widening in your body. And then you're going to walk your hands so that they're at the front or the top of the bolster, and then start to melt down. If your body's longer than the pillows themselves, you can put your forearms and rest your head on your forearms. If you have sensitivities in the knees, maybe you make sure that your knees are on the mat, or maybe you even grab a blanket and put them underneath your knees. Really allowing yourself to breathe here. Maybe visualizing any sort of body of water. Right now, you're looking at the surface, noticing surface level aspects of this body of water. And as you hold the poses for a longer period of time, you start to sink. You start to go deeper. Can you allow yourself to release? The purpose of restorative yoga is to restore both mind, body, and soul by finding rest in the poses. So if any time these poses don't feel comfortable, allow yourself to readjust. This is about comfort, about ease, about sinking below that surface level water and finding whatever it is that your body needs. If your head is turned one way, maybe you turn your head into the other direction. Always coming to your breath. Can you use your breath as an opportunity to go deeper, to go inward, to integrate the information of this moment, of this day, of this life, and of past lives? Finding 5 more breaths here. How can you make the most of them? And then slowly, starting to get out of this pose, we plant our hands up. We sweep our feet to the side, coming down onto our butt. We're going to move our blocks so that we have just the bolster. And then we're going to make it so that we're sitting right next to the bolster, the pillows, and both of our legs are facing out toward one side. So we're going to be starting to do a twist. So our legs are facing out towards the right, maybe, and you have your top leg at the shin of your bottom leg. And then you're going to walk your chest over the bolster and then start to lower down. A supported twist. You have the option to either face the way your knees are facing or face to the other side. As we're in this twist, I invite you to go inward and focus on, for just a moment, times in life where things seem twisted, topsy-turvy, where the water seemed rapid, and reflecting not on maybe the situation itself, but reflecting on that internal strength that allowed you through the situation. Maybe even finding gratitude for yourself, noticing the tools that you gained from that situation, noticing the tools within you to get through the rapid waters. Noticing even how this twist feels physically in your body. What information, feedback, wisdom is your body trying to tell you right now? Five more breaths here. And then starting to come out of the twist, we plant our hands on the outside of the bolster or pillows and slowly rise up. We're going to face towards the back of our mat or the front of our mat, depending on what side we're at. And we're just going to windshield wiper the legs from side to side. Two more. And then finding that twist on the other side, we find our hip at the edge of that pillow. We find top leg at the shin, bottom leg on the ground, knees bent, and then we twist our body over the bolster and lower down. Allowing ourselves the opportunity to get comfy. I now invite you to think about a twist in the opposite direction. When was a time in your life that you felt calm, where the water was easy, slow, maybe even joyful. What tools were you using to create that in that moment? Finding gratitude for yourself, for the full spectrum of sensations, experiences, skills that you've learned over time. Gratitude for being able to find calm, being able to find joy in a life and an experience that sometimes takes that, pushes that from you. And you allow for that calm water to wash over you, to allow you to sink a little bit deeper, maybe past the physical sensation into the mental and spiritual body. Just a few more breaths here. Taking a deep inhale. And then exhale, sighing it out. Planting your hands. And then slowly lifting the body up. Finding those windshield wipers on both sides. We're now going to come into a supported bound angle pose. So we're going to have our blocks, and how you situate your blocks or even your pillows depends on how open your body is. You can make this more yin by having your block flat like this instead of having it up. So that's really up to you. For yin, you're getting a slow, gradual stretch. In restorative, you're really just trying to find comfort. So if you want to have that more restorative, still opening up in the hips, but way more gentle, then you're gonna have the block facing up. If you want more of that yin, that opening in the hips a bit more, maybe you have some tension that you're trying to release. Invitation to either lower it at the beginning or to start higher and then lower it with time. If you don't have blocks, you can also use your pillows here. And then you want your back like really hitting right where the bolster ends. And then you're going to open up. So your feet are kissing. You could have your arms, palms facing up to receive. You're getting a chest opener here and a hip opener. Listening to your body, finding comfort in the pose, and then creating space for rest. While you're here in this hip opener, in this calm water, can you open yourself up to something new? Both physically opening yourself up, making space, but going deeper mentally. Is there something new you're trying to create? Spiritually, is there something divine you're trying to connect to? Really allowing for a washing over you of something new. Taking a deep inhale, filling up your belly, lungs, holding it for a moment, and then exhale, sighing it out. Doing 2 more breaths like that. Allowing for that feeling, that sensation of something new, even if that something new is not something you can name in this current moment, to wash over you. And then, at your own pace, at your own time, slowly just closing the legs together, grabbing the outside of the knees, moving yourself up and a little bit forward, moving the bolster out of the way, and laying flat on your back, knees to chest, just gently rocking from side to side. And then coming back up to seated, we're going to do one last pose before our Shavasana. And we're going to bring the bolster even lower. So before, the bolster was vertical. Now we're going to bring it horizontal. And then we're going to have a block or a pillow for our head. And so we're doing a supported back bend. So we're actually going to lift our hips up so that like the base of our tailbone is on the bolster, and then release our head back so that our head comes towards either the block or pillow. If you want, you could even have no pillow or block for your head. You can bend the knees so that the knees are up towards the sky, or you could have your legs out straight. It really depends on how much space has already been created in the spine. We're trying to find comfort. If you feel a lot of constraint and tension with your legs straight, maybe you bend them. If you still feel a lot of discomfort, maybe you push the bolster a little bit lower down so that it's truly covering your entire lower half. And then breathing here. They say that the hips are where we hold and store a lot of pain. In order to invite something new, it's critical that we release that stuck energy, that pain that we may have been carrying on, holding on to so deeply. Can you allow yourself to release, to use that new energy, that new momentum as a force to push away, to clear out anything that's blocking you from your manifestations? A bath or a shower of sorts. Can you use your breath as that cleansing force? even if you're not completely releasing the pain of a past experience, can you at least allow yourself to process it, to feel all of the feels, to arrive to the sensations below the surface? You can't rush your healing. You can only sit. You can only feel. And that's okay. A few more breaths here. Making your mouth in the shape of an O. Exhaling through the O. Almost as if your breath is the sound of the ocean. Still waters. Three more breaths here. And then if you have your legs straight, bending at the knee and rising up the hips so that you can push the bolster up from under you, and your bottom or your butt comes down towards the ground. You can bring knees into chest, or you can grab the outside edge of your feet, coming into happy baby. So whatever feels best for you, rolling from side to side in your back. If your knees are hugged into the chest, maybe you even find circles. And then from here, we're going to come into a supported Shavasana. So we're going to find the bolster or the pillows underneath our knees so that our back is straight, our back is flat on the ground. If your back is not completely flat on the ground, maybe we take another pillow or another block and lift the bolster off the ground a bit more. You can also take that remaining block or pillow and put it underneath your head. Finding your breath again here. Connecting back with that intention for this practice, with that thing, that sensation that you are trying to create new. water. Our life depends upon it. But it can also be so turbulent. Can we connect with the element of water as a source of life force energy? Noticing, even in ourselves, the times when life becomes rapid. And the times when life becomes calm. Can we find a balance between the both? Between action and stillness? Between the past and the future? Dropping in to the now. And in this now, can we see, create, and be all the greatness that is destined for us? Coming back again to your breath, taking a deep inhale, holding it, and then exhale, sighing it out. Another one, deep inhale, holding it, and then exhale, sighing it out. Last one, deep inhale, holding it, soaking in the beauty of that something new, and then exhale, sighing out any final barriers to achieve. Slowly starting to wiggle your fingers and toes, coming back in to your body, coming back into the space around you. Noticing any sounds in the room that you might be in your house, in the city around you. And then slowly starting to come out of the pose. You're going to bring your knees back into chest and turn your knees to one or the other side, coming into a fetal position. And when you're in this fetal position, giving yourself a bit of a hug. Gratitude for making this time for yourself. And in making this time for yourself, sending love to all of those around you. And then slowly starting to come back up into a seated position. Maybe you push your bolster and blocks away from you. We're going to come in to one last breath as a virtual tribe, as the beauty of brown girls across the world healing. Inhaling all the abundance around us. Bringing hands to touch, cementing the beauty of this practice. I leave us with the Hindu prayer, Loka somasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may my thoughts, words, and actions contribute to the happiness and freedom of others. Satnam, and so it be. Thank you so much for practicing with me on this Wednesday evening, this beginning of a new moon. I really invite you to journal about any feelings, revelations that you might have had. Even just journaling what that something new that you're creating is, and the sort of energy that came inside of you when you thought about something new. It's all about manifestation as we go into this new moon. So really use that energy around us to help you mobilize, to set goals and know that you can achieve them. And know that you always can come back to your mat, whether it's restorative or Afrofusion or Vinyasa, that you have the tools within you to achieve greatness. Have a great evening, and I know book club's coming up, so maybe you journal really quickly, and always make sure to stay hydrated, eat something good, and I hope to practice with y'all again soon. Okay, bye.